Hi, everyone. So I'm just going to show you here exactly how I've helped grow my business to six figures in less than 18 months and how I've helped countless other firms and advisors in financial services do the same, some to six figures, some beyond. But the main core kind of promise of this is that we generate at least 3 to 5 additional appointments, but not just any appointments, really high net worth appointments consistently week in, week out. I see a big problem across financial services at the minute where people are just relying on referrals, taking like a reactive approach. And the problem with that is the lack of control over the customer types and the values that come your way, which can lead to working hard for a mediocre return. So what we're kind of employing in this strategy is the flip of that. So we're having a more proactive approach, going out for the right clients, putting yourself in front of them, finding them, which is what will help you do. Put yourself in front of them on a consistent basis. And yeah, which like I said, that leads to the flip side where you're working less but earning more. And there's a lot less stress involved in that. And it just leads to a happier life, to put it bluntly. So yeah, I'm just going to talk you through here just some of the guys that we've worked with, some of their real life case studies on how they've done that and how they are actively doing that at the moment. So this is the wins section in our community, it's HNW Deals. So we've got various people here who've recently done well, with like Joe, who's I've just done an interview with. I'll show you a bit into that video in a minute. Matt here, he put an update the other day where he said he's generated a few 6 fact finds. He's set up his campaign in April, 6 fact finds, and decision principles. He got 3 more fact finds this week. If these convert to purchases, that's 2 mil in lending. Still early days, but in front of people wouldn't have spoke to. Amanda, she's another kind of high performer in the community as well. That's Matt. This is Amanda. So Amanda, her market is investment bankers, so she's doing regular £2 million mortgage deals.
I think I probably had about 7 mil of mortgage lending, mortgage inquiries through LinkedIn about the past month.
In the past months?
Yeah.
Right.
So, some of them, all right, so I always work on the basis that I'll lose 30% of business written. But some of these people have just been, I've not had a peep from them, even with Ulink messaging, nothing, absolutely nothing. And they've just cropped out and gone, hello, I had your name lodged in my brain as a mortgage person.
Well, that's because you've been posting content consistently and building that, which is what we talk about. Because obviously you will get those people that are in the market right now, but there's only a very small percentage of those people in the DMs. But it's numbers game in a way, in that sense, that you will hit those people at the right time, but you still got those people on board and in your world, and show you when you're showing up. Because obviously, it's all well and good having that audience there, but if you're not showing up, then they're not ever gonna create those extra like touch points. They've got to see you between. It's got to build the trust. A lot of people, the needs to see you a few times before they think, oh yeah, oh Monday, and it's just first couple, and they think, especially when it's specialised in that
exactly.
Work, it's a no-brainer that they're going to contact you because they know you, see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a bit about how Amanda's doing. Jesse, he's based in Miami. He does really well. He goes for big real estate deals. He generated 10K from one deal. So there's interviews there. I'll link my YouTube because I've got all these interviews on here, but I'll just quickly show you one. What have you got out of it? What other than what you've mentioned there?
Yeah, so like we were using, I think probably the main number one thing, and we've gotten real revenue from it, is the whole LinkedIn side of things. So optimizing profiles. Mine was kind of mishmash. So it's good, because it's like if you don't have a direction to move in, you're kind of just floating around out there. For me, it really helped to hone in on specific things. What is it that we want to be pushing out there on this channel? Like what do we want to represent as a company? And not only just, how do we want to put ourselves out there, but like what would be the best way to show people what we do so that we can build our business. That's the whole point of being on LinkedIn and doing the whole LinkedIn outreach thing. So anyhow, it's been great. So that helped us kind of, hyper focus things in LinkedIn. And then, like we're using Sales Navigator and, I was doing manual tasking on reaching out to folks. And, that's super time consuming. I
Yeah.
mean, copy paste, it's not great. And it's not, you're not doing, there's systems that we can use where we can more personalize the outreach to folks. So, and get a better response than just, hitting connect, connect, connect. That doesn't really do much. So yeah, it's been great. You can see like there's a couple of metrics that I was looking at, and continue to monitor, but especially in the beginning to see like, hey, is this thing something that's valuable? Like, is it valuable to put time, energy, resources in? And you see your profile views go up. You see interactions with what you post go up. One thing I posted in the school group, like, hey, this is what I'm doing to use, like Claude to write blogs. And then I'm reposting blogs. And you had mentioned, like, hey, have you looked into doing a newsletter? I actually hadn't done that before. I didn't even know about it. And once we started doing a newsletter, like the views just skyrocketed on that and interactions really skyrocketed. So when you're building your contact list in there, and then you're doing things like newsletters and writing articles, it really, really helps. So we've got like specific focus on attorneys and developers because that's a big part of our business. And I had one guy reach out and we closed a loan for him, and it's real money. We got it was a 10K commission just on that one deal, and we wouldn't have gotten that had it not been for the LinkedIn outreach program that we've started through basically meeting you. So I mean, that's real money. That's not nothing.
So there's a bit from Jesse. So he's doing really well. So Adam, he generated his first appointment in his first week. So his campaign launched, just hit the book go button, excited to see results. So I said, how's it going? And he said he's been in Saudi. But he got one appointment booked in for tomorrow. With a dozen more interested. This is crazy. So, yeah, it gets better. There's more here as well. Joe, who I've just done an interview with recently, this was his first month. He did 3 fact finds, 1 application submitted, confident the 2 will proceed. 1 already confirmed for protection review, over 1.3 million landed. So he said, I started this course to build my self-generated business so I could take the leap self-employment, early days, but I've seen enough to know this works and will complement the leads the network I'm joining will provide. He went from an employed role to a self-employed role based on having a reliable lead source. So yeah, I asked him what his return was off that. He said £3,300 plus whatever protection ends up, which could have been another couple of grand on top of that. But yeah, he's done really well.
I think on average, it's working out about a submission a month at the minute. And I'll totally honest, I could put a lot more time into it, and I want to be able to do that. Once I've streamlined the 3 processes in my business, I'll be putting a lot more time into it. And the other thing is, if you are focusing on certain individuals, you don't need the volume to generate the revenue. 1 or 2 submissions a month makes a massive difference when you've got the right clients.
Exactly.
Emily, she did sharing a first small win Tuesday. She's only been using it for 2 weeks. Picked up her first inquiry. Due to speak to them tomorrow. May not go anywhere, but feel scratching the surface of what's possible with Dan's system, which I haven't fully implemented yet. Excited to see where it goes. And then later on, she updated this and said, just to follow up on this, I've read all the documents through and the dip accepted this morning, just under £1 million of borrowing, albeit some of it being important. Definitely a client I wouldn't have had on the radar without this course. So there's Joel as well down here. I'll show you a little bit of Joel's interview in a minute. So he went from 2.5 grand a month to 10K in his first month of working with us. So he's a former pilot. So his market is aviation and pilots. So yeah, he now regularly generates deals worth 5K. So Yeah, so basically this is the course, this is the community, there's a classroom, there's the community section where people get involved in helping each other out. I'm posting AI updates in here regularly because that's a big part of the strategy, leveraging AI. There's the classroom section in here where we have training videos, which are short and snappy. This is the process. We establish a niche, a high net worth niche, and get ChatGPT and AI to do market research. We then find these people using LinkedIn, the Sales Navigator. We then create an outreach campaign, which start with it connects with them all using an automation tool, which connects with all these people. So we've got a list of like 2,000 to 4,000. Should get 30% of those accept. The ones that do, we have a conversation with these people. And the upshot of that is that we should get 3 to 5 appointments booked consistently week in, week out. And also we do what we call snipering, which is more of a manual process, which is more time intensive, much more personalized. And for the real big fish that we want to go fishing for. I'm going to show you how to produce content as well, which is all FCA compliant. Again, using ChatGPT. We've got all these prompts in here to create a week's worth of content in minutes. We also do incentives where we have a leaderboard here. I'll show you the leaderboard. So we'll give a £25 Amazon voucher for whoever's winning this leaderboard every month. So there's little incentives that we offer there and bonus unlocks that you can get extra courses unlocked. Well, basically how we position it is with an implementation kind of mastermind where we work together in a group setting, no more than 8 people on these calls, where we just help you implement it to give you that accountability. So I'm looking for the next 8 to join. So we do this once a quarter. And yeah, we're basically wanting to work with the right people. We don't work with just anyone. But I'll show you at the end how you can apply if you want to apply to that. But I'm just going to show you a couple of more videos here, a bit of a compilation of testimonials that I've gathered. So I'll just quickly show you through this and then I'll show you a bit.
I pretty much immediately started generating leads, converting leads, more importantly. So it was pretty quick that I realized that it was a decision. So yeah, I generate leads. And I think the first month I was with you was just shut out 10K. The month before I had done 2,500.
Dan HQ on the course has allowed me to increase my business by around 200% within that 18 months. I would just say, stop boosting your praise, stop buying leads, just do this.
Thanks for your help, Dan. I'm really glad that I got put on to you. And yeah, I don't know where I would have been otherwise.
But actually, if you put the work in, it really is life-changing and your business really will grow and develop where you want it to.
Average client for me is worth about £1,000, but the ones I've had from LinkedIn that have been pharmacists and just gone through this, they're worth at least 2 and some are actually worth 3.
So yeah, there's just some additional case studies. So I've got a website which gives you further details on this. What the process is, if you are interested in joining us on this implementation accelerator, we call it, where we, like I say, give you that accountability, help you get it set up. We need to speak to you to book a consultation. So you could go to HNWdeals.com and schedule a private consultation. So it gives you more details on here about what we do, but you just click that button and you can pick a time and a date. There's a bit of an application form. We don't work with anyone, so we are quite selective over who we work with. We only want to work with people that we know we can get results for and going to be committed to it, because this stuff 100% works if people are committed to it. And I want to get one of these testimonials from you, so I will work my ass off to get you these results. But we've got to be aligned in that sense. So yeah, I'll just get you to fill out a bit of an application form, and then we'd have a chat over Zoom, just to get to know you a bit better, just to find out if the alignment is there and if the numbers stack up. And if it is, then yeah, we'll invite you to the program, and we can help you scale to 6 figures and help you generate those high net worth appointments that generally close at about 30%. So yeah, HNWdeals.com. If you go to that, there's also my YouTube here, which I've got various videos and things on. You can find that at HNW AIFS Deals. So if you just search that on YouTube, there's loads of testimonials, different kind of tutorials on AI and interviews. And yeah, there's all sorts in there. But yeah, if you want to go to that website, it's HNWdeals.com. And thank you for your time.